The Calendar Killer is the Amazon Prime mega blockbuster psychological thriller where Amazon shows the world you can work at home and be the calendar killer at the same time. We will dive into the movie review of The Calendar Killer as one woman fights for her life to save her daughter.
Going to be murdered tonight.
Murder? Who wants to kill you?
The calendar killer.
The movie starts as Clara is trapped in a room like one of them Saw movies.
Said the 6th of December. Him or you. One of you will die.
She does not remember much, but she has a condition that she can see things that are actually not there.
I sometimes see things that don't exist.
This is Jules, and he works at home, taking calls like a hotline service customer care. His job is to stay on the phone whenever a lonely woman needs assistance getting home from work or anywhere, while Jules working the night shift.
This is the Walk Me Home helpline. We stay on the phone with people as they walk home by themselves. How can I help you?
He does have a kid in another room, but I am going to assume that it is his daughter. Basically, when he helps them with the situation, he hears things that someone is trying to break into his apartment. When Jules check it out, nothing is out of place. So Jules get a call from Clara about the situation that required his assistance, or at least he wants to help out.
I'll help you.
The problem is there's a killer called himself the Calendar Killer, goes around mutilating victims and put random dates on blood and walls and glass on the crime scene.
I'm going to be murdered tonight.
Murder? Who wants to kill you?
The calendar killer.
What's worse is the date of 12/6 is in full display as a threat. That date plays a key important role later. Clara is faced with an impossible situation or she must kill herself or her husband by 12/6.
Said the 6th of December. Him or you. One of you will die.
While trying to save her daughter. That 12/6 date is the date that both her husband and Clara got married. Jules wants to help with the situation, but Clara decides to commit suicide by suffocation through carbon monoxide in the car.
If something happens to me tonight, then the police will find out about the conversation.
What are you up to?
But changing her mind and pull out the car because she has a purpose in life to save her daughter. That is a great decision. Jules also warned her not to commit suicide due to her having a daughter, but he mentions that he has a daughter, which again, assuming that his daughter is in another room. While Jules continued to help Clara, he hears noises in the house, thinking someone break into his house. Again, he checks it out, and again he sees nothing except there's a crack open by the window, which means someone's actually trying to get in. The problem is Jules staying on the 4th floor and someone breaking in from the outside, which means one or two things. One, he must be Spider-Man.
I look Spider-Man.
Or two, he must have some serious rock climbing skills.
Rock climber? Will we climbing this?
This is Clara's husband, Martin, and he's a control freak who wants everything done his way and a very abusive husband. He takes Clara to dinner where he orders seafood for her, but she does not like seafood. Now, why would you order seafood for your wife knowing she doesn't like it? He doesn't care, but as he tells her she needed for protein for her next location. Clara started to see things and flip out to the point that Martin threatened her.
I sometimes see things that don't exist.
That he will take her to the mental hospital if she ever does it again.
Did you stop taking your medication? Am I going to have to get you readmitted to the hospital?
She eats the seafood knowing she don't like it and then go to the one place that make her uncomfortable. The underground sex club, where you see many perverts doing pervert things like bondage and domination. Clara drinks was spiked and they tie her to some ritual table to beat her for sexual pleasure.
You perverted sick.
This was so perverted that she passes out and storms out the club where again she sees things again.
I sometimes see things that don't exist.
As a result, she escaped from an abusive husband at the time, when she was telling her story. While Jules trying to help her, Clara asks a good question. Why are you helping her when you don't even know her? His answer was he had a wife who committed suicide by trying to save the kids due to her house being burned down result in his wife losing so much blood when she tried to commit suicide with razors, and the kids that was trapped inside the burning room, and unfortunately they were burnt alive.
It was a terrible and tragic day.
It was so honorable of Jules that he wants to help her that he called his dad to help him find Clara, but his dad grew suspicious of Clara that she might be lying.
You don't believe me either, do you?
So the dad goes to Clara's house looking for her, but Clara thinks the dad is the calendar killer.
He's here.
Clara, is someone there?
And she's run into the middle of the woods. Like every slasher movie, she runs and falls down, rolling down the hill like Humpty Dumpty. The dad tells Jules he doesn't see her and he's wasting his time. The dad also noticed something out of the ordinary and just stand there and say nothing. Meanwhile, a random driver sees Clara on the side of the road, picks her up, put her in the car and takes us to the nearest city, or at least he tried to. The driver is a stripper who is dressed like Santa Claus because, well, he pays the bills.
Well, hello there, stripper man.
All of a sudden, Clara is seeing things again inside his car and freaks out in the car while Santa Claus tries to calm her down, but there's trouble in the paradise. Martin tracks her down by following her, pulls Santa Claus out the car and beat him senseless because he thinks he's trying to take his woman.
It's a bit of a stretch, don't you think?
That's definitely a stretch because he was trying to help her. Then he beats Clara in the car because he wants to show control who's the boss and wants to teach her a lesson, but she teaches him a lesson by zapping him with a taser gun and runs to Jules in hoping he can save her and find her daughter.
Or I'd tase someone.
Remember the kid Jules was watching earlier in the movie? It was Clara's daughter and he had her daughter the whole time. It was never explained how he got access to her daughter, and also not only he was a respondent that taking phone calls helping innocent lonely women, but Jules is actually the calendar killer.
The calendar killer.
Now he ties up Clara, and when her husband Martin followed her to Jules' place, he took a full swing at Jules' head with his golf club and missed so badly that he got knocked out to the floor.
You got knocked the out.
This is where Clara has to choose to make the decision of kill herself or her husband.
Him or you. One of you will die.
Jules uses psychological warfare on her, but she stabbed him in the foot. Out of all the places you could stab somebody, you actually stabbed Jules in the foot. That's a pretty dumb move on her part.
That was really dumb.
And just when she tried to escape, Jules dragged her behind into the room and hit her. Just when Jules tried to kill both of them, the dad comes in, saves the day by killing his own son. The reason the dad killed his own son because he recognized the handwriting of the 12-6 messages displayed on the crime scene. The movie is not quite over yet because a police officer arrested Martin on the next day during his press conference due to his domestic violence, aggravated assault, and coercion. Martin definitely deserved that, and he got what's coming to her, and Clara did a recording of him speaking to her, which incriminated him for his crimes.
She got it.
After that, Clara got her daughter back, and the movie ends.
I sometimes see things that don't exist.
Moving right along.